Coming up next is our conversations, and today we're basically focusing on the influence of romance,
of
finance in romance, the influence of finance in romance, especially focusing on married couples. We want to just know, especially in this period of Valentine, is it really important? Is money that important in, in romance? Not the marriage itself. We know money is important in marriage, but romance, does money have that much impact on the romance between married couples?
It does, Tomisi. See, I want to start by saying something. Finance makes things easier in all ramifications.
Okay.
And when it comes to romance, finance makes it sweeter. Did you hear the song Davido sang? Love is sweet, oh. When money enter, love is sweeter. Have you ever thought of that? You know, there was a script, a guy was saying, reason with me, if I no get to get today,
if I no get today, I go get on tomorrow.
And then Destiny Etiko, that has been on, the news.
Is that not
that's a rude boy,
yes,
of the deformed P Square.
Yes.
And then Destiny Etiko, who has been on the news for her Jeep she dedicated, she celebrated, came up and responded to him and say, love is sweet, oh. When money enter, love is sweeter. You know, there is a sense. Do you know that you cannot serve God well in the atmosphere of poverty? Let me give you an example. It's raining. You need to go to church. And it's raining cat and dog heavily. There is absolutely no way to get out of your house.
No, you get out of your house. Eh? Dr. Precious.
I didn't say it's raining drizzling. I said it's raining cat and dog.
Let me shock you. I once saw a woman going to church with leg, and her children were in the ring with her, and all of them were fighting after each other.
So when you get to the church, how will you?
They're drenched.
Yeah, you're totally drenched.
She does not care.
Now,
she must go to church.
Can we go back to the statement I made? I said you can't serve God well in the atmosphere of poverty.
But in that case, do you have to go to church?
In that case, I think you just have to look for something to cover, or you wait, or look for something to cover. But imagine,
or you pray at home. What is wrong with praying at home?
Distractions. Now, Tommy say, imagine, that's a topic for another day. But imagine if you have a car. Do you need to pray against the weather to get to church?
No.
You just sit down.
You sit down and drive carefully. And
now, let me shock you. A decent life is not cheap. So there is maximum impact of finance.
So to even be comfortable, just be comfortable.
You need money. To have the basic things of life, you need money.
Of course.
And you see, setting big picture financial goals with your partner and talking about the future, like everyday budgets, having tracks of what you want to do, the things you want to achieve, they all encompass around finance.
Yes.
And for that relationship to be palatable, for that home to be sweet, there is need for financial stability. See what I said, Tommy Singh? You know, and this is very true. There can hardly be a solid romance without a stable finance.
But then I see a lot of people say that we've been struggling for a number of years and we're fine.
Can I tell you something, Tommy? Love can exist without money. But the sustainability of that love requires money. That's why I sat down and I started thinking. And I said, is there a way you can make your woman happy without money? Like practically. Are there ways to make a woman happy without money? And I came up with 5 ways to make a woman happy without money. But nevertheless, understand this. Our women in this generation, in this age and time, if you want to make them happy, 3 things. Money, more money, and much more money.
Really?
See, you know...
money cannot buy love, you know?
Yes, money cannot buy love, but money can buy the things that love requires.
Okay, so it brings to mind the idea of why people who were so in love with each other and then at some point their relationship just goes sour.
That's so true. Because of the sustainability of the love. Now, in a I'm going to allow you comment, Tommy, but you see, in a relationship where love was the foundation, there are things we need to sustain that relationship. If those things are lacking over time, it will impact on the safety, on the integrity of that relationship. And that's why you see people fall in love and fall out of love.
Well, it's really not their fault.
Well, to a large extent. That's why I tell ladies and I tell guys, don't just marry somebody that is laid back. Marry somebody with prospects. Someone with vision. When I mean vision, I mean someone with a prospective future. You ask a guy, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? He say, I go don't gain weight to, I go down the way 7. The guy is a serious guy.
Or maybe you marry somebody and you're hearing things like, in 5 years I will have 5 kids. I'll have 3 kids. Are you guys what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'll be married with kids. It shocks me most times because a lot of people think erroneously.
Yeah.
Feel free to correct me. That once they're married, half of their life's problem is solved. I used to hold that thought.
That's not true, Tommy Singh.
I used to hold that thought as well. You know, you're told, and unfortunately, it's the religious setting.
Mentality.
It's the religious setting that brings that.
But can we turn that mentality the other way? If you marry a bad partner, 50% of your life is gone.
You get it. So when you now say that if you're married, half of your problems are solved. If you're married right, half of your problems are solved. You know, I still totally would say that that's still wrong. If you're married well, you at least have 20% of your life guaranteed.
At least you have somebody to compliment you.
20% of your happiness guaranteed.
True.
But you see, the ultimate 80% that will give you satisfaction for the rest of your life is dependent on you.
True.
So imagine, because I find it difficult to understand why when children are about to leave home and they're going to the university and they finish work and they finish university and they start looking for work, parents try to hold on to them so tightly. You start hearing things like, oh, I cannot allow my children to go and work in the north. I cannot allow my children to go and work in the... But, you know, some parents, their children now find a way, get married first, and then jump out of the country and leave them in Nigeria.
Very true.
They just abscond, basically. And they're saying, I've not seen my son, I've not seen my daughter for this number of years. If you were busy making impacts, you know you won't think about that.
Very true.
Because you are busy making impact yourself, and you'll be happy seeing that your children are also making impact.
And no child will be ashamed of a parent that is making impact.
As a matter of fact, because you're making impact, when you have some nice things to do, your children find a way, despite their busy schedule, to find a way to come to you.
And then
because you're not just congregating just for holidays. You know, that's the way families are now. Every time you come together, it's holiday.
Very true.
So we just find a way to. I know it's good to spend time together, but they say even the holiday, even the holiday itself, it's still money.
True.
Because some people will say, okay, you know what? Grandpa called and said, let's all meet in Italy for Christmas. That's holiday, you know. And then all of us are going to the village to go and play with Grandpa for Christmas. And then when you're going, you will take out. When you're going, you take everything you will eat to your house. Imagine that your parents were okay. So I think those in our generation, we have the chance to get it right.
Very true.
We really have the chance if we look deeply enough to addressing this issue of finance. This complacency that comes with just being satisfied with little needs to stop.
Very true. And then you see, Tommy saying, money is really powerful. It gives you the power of options. So when you're in a romantic relationship with your spouse, you can just come home today and say, let's go to Sheraton and have dinner. And then spend the night there for the weekend.
But you know,
are you feeling what I'm feeling?
But you know, it won't be a big deal.
It won't be a big deal because we got the money.
Let's assume that it's the woman that has the money and the husband is a bit.
Tommy said, we really need to balance that because that's where inferiority comes from.
But the woman now says, honey, let's go and have dinner outside. Why? What is wrong with the food they cook in my kitchen?
No. But if they are friends, it will work. But I understand where you're coming from. It happens.
If she does it more than once, twice, 3 times in a month, even if they are friends, the man will feel somehow.
According to Dr. Dagi Ward-Mills, there are 7 problem areas in marriages. One of them is money. You see, money can be a blessing to a relationship and can also be a problem, a burden to a relationship, but the blessings are more. Tommy saying it's important to understand this. Couples with extreme financial stress will always struggle with their relationships because the financial pressure has taken a toll on them. Imagine a woman says she wants something, and then you say that thing is not available, and at night you now come that you want to pray with her.
No.
Pray.
But you know that kind of prayer. They say it's a duty. She has to give it to you. She cannot deny you.
Not some.
They cannot deny you because that's what.
Here.
No, but that's what it says now. Spiritually, it is not wrong for you to deny him. So you now find yourself giving him even though you don't want it.
I think next week I'm going to take 5 ways to make a woman happy without money. Somebody wants to know. Really? If you know any way to make a woman happy,
but you see, a lot of people would actually love that before Valentine, because Sunday is Valentine, there will be trouble.
But that's true. But we can say it in 1 minute.
No, as we're going, give them 2 tips, please. As we're going, we're rounding up.
I'll just rush through it. Be sincere.
Just to.
Women love men who are very sincere. Number 2, compliment her with your
all
words.
The time.
Be a very good talker. Women are moved by what they hear. Men are moved by what they see. Number 3, cook for her. Women love men who are domesticated. Cook for her, get into the kitchen. When a woman sits down and then you bring the food to her, she's honored, she's happy. You never hear this. Number 4, respect women. Women also like to be respected. If you follow her too much, if you keep a close touch of her, you don't give her space, she'll get fed up of you. Respect her. She'll love you so much.
Respect her space. Now.
And finally, number 5, the little things. Don't check her phone. Trust her. Open the door for her. It doesn't stop you from doing that.
So on Valentine's Day, I prescribe that every man who is going to be celebrating with his partner on Valentine's Day, cook for her if you don't have so much money, and even if you have the money, order the food and let them deliver it home.
And then serve her.
And serve her and feed her. So you're finding a way to make your Valentine more interesting, at least in the midst of both of you.
So, before you round up, I'm going to worry.
My name is
My
Tommy
flight
Sojo.
is today.
My name is Tommy
If you leave me worry and you're looking for a Val,
my name is Tommy Sojo.